Many people are surprised when I say that I have a chartered accountant to file my income tax work and an MFD whose help I seek while investing. My job is to look after my life, to increase my income or to have fun. It is not to keep track of my taxes and my portfolio. If I can outsource it, I will outsource it. I don't see any reason why I should do those two tasks myself. So I don't do it. So I was just thinking, who are the kind of people who should hire an accountant for filing their tax returns or hire an MFD for managing their investments. So first of all, a small businessman should not try doing it himself, because the business part of the IT return is pretty complicated. You have to file your return on time. If you do not file, you will not be allowed carry forward of losses. You have to understand what is carry forward of losses, right? You have to know whether to claim depreciation or not to claim depreciation. Sometimes it is beneficial not to claim depreciation, especially if you are filing the return late. So some of these things are important for you to understand. So therefore, a guy with a small business, especially if he's just stepping in and getting into GST, so monthly GST returns, GST calculations, the invoices to be sent, and then the income tax returns to be filed. So for a young businessman or an older businessman who is just starting out in business, it makes sense to have an accountant who will need not be a chartered accountant, but needs to have an accountant who will do all the dirty work, because there is a lot of work that you have to do as an entrepreneur. Your job is not to keep track of your taxes and keep track of where your portfolio is going. If it can be outsourced, please outsource that. Second, when husband and wife both are earning and earning well, say husband is a practicing professional and wife is an employee, there is going to be some, you have to look at things more carefully, especially if you have capital gains and if you have rental income and things like that. I know one person who was filing it on his own, and when I asked him to go to some chartered accountant who charged him some 1,000 rupees few years ago and saved him 26,000 rupees in capital gains alone. So I said, next 26 years fees has already been recovered, because it is still complicated. Whatever Mr. Modi says about our tax act, it is still complicated, right? The other set of persons who should go for a chartered accountant is those who have foreign income. Foreign income could happen to you because you're sitting in India and getting ESOP shares, so you're getting dividend. Also, some phantom ESOPs have been bought and sold. This is pretty complicated. Don't try doing it yourself, because you have to understand there is something called DTAA. There is withholding tax in the US. So you have paid some tax there, some credit you will get here. So please be careful, and not too many chartered accountants or lawyers understand all this. So you will need to go to a chartered accountant who does this, somebody who is working in maybe a Colgate, a P&G or a HUL, whoever has got international shares and who is filing a return in India. You will need the help of a chartered accountant with experience in NRI taxation to be able to file your return. On the face of it, it looks very easy that anybody can file a return, but it's not so simple. Thirdly, those who have just got married should file their returns. In India, there is no complication of joint returns, etc. So please be understanding what you're doing, so that you understand each other's finances well. Somebody who is old and infirm and unable to do it himself, so maybe 75, 80, whatever age at which you cut off, you will need somebody to help you. You might as well use a tax professional instead of trying to use your son, nephew, neighbor, etc. and making a mess of things, right? So these are all the kind of people who should be having their own CA for filing their return. Own CA, I mean, not as an employee but hired as a professional. Same thing for financial management also. Your own money, if you don't enjoy managing it, don't do it. It's my very simple thing, because you need to find the time, you need to find the inclination, you need to worry about insider trading if it's a company in which you are working, right? So instead, if you outsource it to some MFD and you put only in mutual funds, there can't be any acquisition of insider trading or things like that. So be careful if you're a senior executive and if you're named there, right? So in such cases, it's better to give your money to an MFD and make sure that the MFD does not make mistakes during the cooling off period, etc. You should not be buying or selling shares. You better stick to the rules. If you can't do all that, you're better off in the mutual fund handled by an MFD. Thank you.